Hey guys, Stephanie Zima here, My Way of Life Coaching, coming to you today live on how to actually level up, right? Level up in life, level up in your business. All these things are important. We talk about this all the time. We talk about, oh yeah, we want to be better, but we never really talk about what it will take for you to get there, right? We know we have to get better. We know we have to level up skills and habits and behaviors, but how do we even do that? How is this happening and how do we go about it, right? Those questions we have trouble with. And today in this video, I'm going to go over all these steps. There are 15 of them that will actually help you level up all the areas of your life, your business, your family, your health, all the things that you want to level up on. So stick around and listen to all these 15 points that I'm going to talk about. So before I get and dive into this, if you are new to me, I am Stephanie Zima. I am the founder of the Walk It Free Mentorship program, where we heal, connect, and level up, because I have found that so many people that I talk about have healing needs, right? Their abandonment traumas, their fears, their self-sabotage patterns, their procrastinations, all these things that people are dealing with, they need to be healed before you can even move on and do anything with your goals or with your life. Then you need to be able to connect. You have to connect with your mission, your vision, your values. Who are you at the core? Who are you in your authenticity? Who do you want to become? Who do you want to work with? These things, you need to figure them out. You need to connect with in order to build your motivation, in order to build your drive, and to build something that you are proud to call your legacy business, because that's what we're looking to do, right? And then lastly, we have to level up. We have to take action. We have to learn habits, new behaviors that are now more aligned with what you want to do in your life and in your business. Okay, so that is what the Walk It Free Mentorship Program is. We are healing, we are connecting, and we're leveling up, and we're doing that in togetherness, right? In a tribe. And there's coaching programs that are group coaching, and there's one-on-one privates, because some of these healing things, the self-sabotage, there's a lot of feelings involved. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of maybe shame, maybe guilt, things that you don't necessarily want to talk to other people about. And that is why I offer one-on-one sessions, because, I don't know about you, but some things you don't want to be talking about in the group. And so I want to make sure you have that time with me as a Stephen minister, as a wellness coach, as a life coach certified, to be able to go through and talk in private about, so that you can then connect with what you want and level up eventually. Okay, so that's what that is all about. All right, diving into these 15 steps that are going to help you level up. Number one is you need to aim higher than you are comfortable with. So you need to aim higher. Now, what exactly does it mean? Aiming higher than what? Before you can aim higher, you have to know where you are right now. Okay? Where you are right now. And when I'm thinking back in all these years that I've been in business, I've heard this many times. I've heard aim higher, do this, set a bigger goal, set a hairy dream, like, or what do they say, the hairy goal or whatever. It always sounded weird to me. So I was like, what exactly does it mean to aim higher and to have a goal, but yet being able to reach it? Now there's different steps to it, okay? If you are brand new, if you are not aware where you are right now, and you are brand new and you are starting out in a maybe network marketing company, or you're starting out as a coach, or you're starting out as an influencer, wherever you are, if you then think about your million followers, or your multi-zeroed amount of numbers of income, 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, whatever you want to put the number in, if you think that big, but you are in a spot that you just started out, that is too big. That is too big, right? So what you need to do in order to aim higher than you're comfortable with is you first need to find out where you are right now, and then really get clear on what would you still be comfortable with, and then just get a little bit higher than that, just a little bit more. So let's say, what exactly does it mean? Let's say you can easily do 10,000 steps in a day. You have tracked yourself, you have watched yourself, because see, this is the thing, most people don't even know what they can do and what they can't do because they're not tracking. They're not paying attention to what they are doing on a consistent basis. What are their patterns? What are their habits? They're not paying attention to these things, so they won't even know what they comfortably can do. That's what the problem is, right? If you can't comfortably do something, and you're not having awareness around that, how can you set the next best thing? How can you set the next goal? You can't. So you have to first know where you're at, what can you comfortably do. So let's say you have done the tracking part and you know comfortably you can do 10,000 steps. You're aiming higher than you're comfortable with would probably be around the 15,000 steps, okay? Because now you know you can do 10,000, 12,000, you're probably still okay with. 15 now gets a little tougher. You want something that's just outside of your comfort zone that you're going to have to stretch just a little bit to get to 2, okay? That makes sense. So that is number 1. Gain clarity, find out your pattern so you know where you are at, and then step just a little bit outside of that. Comfort never will lead to transformation. Any area of life, wherever you want to start, if it's your health, if it's your business, if it's your parenting, if it's relationships, wherever it is, you got to know where is your starting point, and then stretch just a little bit so that you can start transformation journey on that, okay? All right. Step 2, success is attracted, not pursued. See, I was wrong for so many years. I was thinking I had to hustle. I was thinking I was like, oh, I got to do more. And so that more thinking actually what's the right word for it? Actually highlighted my scarcity. I wasn't, when I was trying to pursue things, I wasn't focused on making more in terms of abundance thinking. I was actually just highlighting, I don't have time. I don't have time. I need to do more. I need to do more. I don't have time. So what I was doing is I was actually highlighting the scarcity aspect of it, which then gave me the exact opposite results. I was so stressed for so many years thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do more and I can't do any more, because I was actually really subconsciously focusing on the scarcity, the fact that I didn't have time, the fact that I didn't want to do. So when you're thinking you want to have success, right, you need to become the person that actually attracts the success and the attracts everything. You need to become the person your results require. You have to be the one that needs to understand what exactly it is you want. And it's not about working more. You have to become the person that deserves the results. See, here's the thing, you kind of have to just raise your deserve level. When I started working on that point, the success is attracted not by pursuit, but attraction, right? When I stopped pursuing this perceived goal and I started focusing on more about what do I deserve? What do I even think success is like? What is success? See, we sometimes have distorted imaginations of what we think success is. And then we are surprised when we are not taking action. Well, you might not take action because what others believe success is maybe not what you think success is. Okay, you have to understand that your success, what authentically is meant for you, may be a failure in someone else's mind. Okay, so what do I mean by that? When I talk to my kids, for example, I teach them all the time. I said, what mom feels is successful does not necessarily mean it's successful for you. Maybe your success for the day looks like you just going to sit on the couch and doing nothing, okay? Maybe that is success for you. So if that is what you want, if that is your goal, what do you need to do to achieve that? And then once you've done those things that achieve that particular goal, that is your success. Okay. I might look at it and say, well, lounging around on the couch is bad. It's like, that's nothing. That's not success. That's lazy, right? So my perception of that set goal is completely different from that. So when you want to attract success, first, you need to actually become aware, what is success to you? What does it mean to be successful? Don't fall into the trap of your leaders pushing you to do certain things that you don't feel right with. Okay, that is, I see this all the time. Your upline will tell you, do this, do this, do this, do this, and it doesn't feel right to you. And then you are just not doing it, you're avoiding it, and then you feel guilty about it, and you're in this rat race. But you can break free from that rat race by simply aligning what your success is like, what you feel is successful, and then aligning your business and building your business around it, building your family around what you feel is successful, aside from what your mother-in-law might think about you, building your health goals, around it. Some people like CrossFit, some people hate it, some people like burpees, some people say, oh, you know what, I don't like them very much. It really is depending on what you want and what is going on. Sorry, I had to adjust my seat here for a second. All right, number 3, stretch beyond your comfort zone. You have to stretch beyond your comfort zone. You have to. Okay, just like I talked about in the beginning, I am a little bit higher. You actually have to do it on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you have to do it to prove to your brain that it's possible. And see, this is why. We hear these things, but we don't resonate with them. We hear these things and we know we should be doing that, but all we do is we think we should be doing these things and then we are not doing them. And then we wonder, why are we not doing them? Okay. And then we feel guilty and we are again in this rat race. And I want you to break free from this rat race. I want you to start realizing that the reason why you need to step out of your comfort zone is so you can prove to your brain that there's no limits. There's no limits. When you do that on a consistent basis, like, I'm comfortable at 10,000 steps. Now constantly I'm pushing to 15,000 steps. Guess what happens? Your brain is going to start realizing, oh, 15,000 steps, that's my new comfort zone. And that's how you level up, step by step by step by step. Now your brain is not going to be afraid of 15,000 steps no more, because you have proven to yourself over and over and over again that you can do it. Now what happens when you prove to yourself that you can do it? You are getting comfortable. You are getting confident. Okay, confident is something that builds over time. You're going to get confident. So you're going to get confident, and now you can level up even more. Now 15,000 steps is your new comfort zone. So stretch just a little bit beyond that. Yada, 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 yada. You get the point. Number 4, consistency over intensity. See, remember when I said success is attracted and not pursued? What happens normally is we go for a goal, we go for something we want, and we hustle so hard because we are motivated. We're coming off this conference, or maybe, you had an event or something and somebody gave you all this belief and you're like, yes, I can totally do it. I am so pumped. I am so excited. I can do it. And you go home and you start and you start and you start and you exhaust yourself doing it. Okay. Your family is complaining. Everybody is like up in arms because you're doing so much. And then you're quitting. Okay. And then you're quitting and you're stopping. And so what happens is you have to imagine it to be a glass of water, for example, your activity, right? You're needing to be imagine it to be a glass of water. Now, if you drip, 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 drip constantly into that into that glass of water, that's your consistency. You will fill up that glass and it will be fine. If you pour a little bit and then you stop, and then maybe you pour a little bit later on, maybe in like a month or so, and then you stop, you would think that the glass will also fill, but it doesn't. And you know why it doesn't? Because there's things like evaporation. Okay, the water evaporates. People quit, people start, people quit, people like this is what happens. This is normal. Attrition is normal. You recruit people and they fall off and people start ordering again and some people are stopping orders. Like it's what happens. You need to have a consistent drip all the time. So even small actions consistently done will beat every big huge movement. Okay, so that's what it is. Number 5, discipline beats motivation anytime. Do not forget about this. Discipline, like I remember when I first thought about discipline, I thought about yucky. I don't want discipline. Don't we just start this with freedom in mind? We want freedom. We want excitement. We bought this dream of online marketing because we could be working off our phone in the nooks and crannies of the day. That's so amazing. And now we are supposed to do disciplined action. Now think about it though. Discipline actually sets you free. Because if you can if you can take disciplined action, small little steps every single day, they will yield a lot of results that then will set you free. Okay, if you make consistent money, you can hire a cleaning lady. That will give you more time. If you make consistent money, you can, pay somebody to do your meals or your laundry or something, and you buy back your time. But if you're not doing this, now you're stuck doing all the things yourself. If you are consistently loving on your kids, for example, you will get that back. You will get that back. It's just the law. Okay, that's what it is. So discipline beats motivation at all times because it actually builds trust. So if you yield results, right, you do something consistently, you fill and drip, 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 drip into that glass of water consistently. Now what happens? Water gets filled in, glass gets full, you have a predictable result. Now that predictable result is dependable, and dependability beats trust. If you show up regularly all the time, your audience is going to trust you. If you are not showing up consistently, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can trust you so much. Okay. All right. Discipline is dependability. That's what you got to remember. It's not a punishment. It's actually the thing that sets you free. Number 6, you guys, take action first because confidence actually comes second. See, sometimes we have it backwards. We think we need to be confident first before we can do something, but that is not the truth. Confidence does not come first. Confidence comes second. You have to take action first. When you take action, you are going to build the confidence by having a predictable outcome when you start winning. Okay, when you see results, you're going to be like, yeah, it's no brainer. It's so exciting. I can totally do that. That's what happens when you are deploying the consistency on a regular basis. So action first, confidence comes second. Number 7, you need to fail on purpose. Take the messy action. See, I know in the beginning I thought, I don't want to fail. I don't want to look stupid. Like people are going to laugh at me. I've been at it for a long time and I still don't have 50,000 views. And, people are going to laugh at me. Who cares? It's not about the followers. It's not about that does not matter. You can have the more successful business with smaller amount of numbers, viewers, anything, than those people that are having billion whatever followers on it. It doesn't matter. That's not the case. So fail. Talk, have conversations, post the content, play around with it. Don't take yourself so seriously, okay? Because it's not, building a business is messy, right? Building a business is trial and error. Business does not, you have to get to know yourself. It's not like something you sit down and you start talking about something and this is how you're going to keep it forever, right? Trends change. The market is fluent. Everything changes all the time. So the more you can the quicker you can get into action, the quicker you can just get used to failing forward, the quicker you find out what actually it was fun for you and what you love to talk about and what you love to sell and what you love to do. And from there, you're just gonna have success from there. So that's it. Fail on purpose. Just try it out. Be messy. It's okay. Everybody is going to forget it anyway, because so many people are observing themselves and are like, especially in a cold market, people don't remember you. People don't necessarily remember you unless they resonate with you, and they resonate with you when they like you, and they like you because you are you, and you are probably authentic, messy, and all the things that you were wanting to be, because they are probably just like you. Okay, so don't worry about doing something the wrong way, because here's the thing: if you do it the wrong way and you have other people judge you on that, yeah, good. I'm always so happy when somebody tells me I suck. I'm always so happy, and I'm like, thanks for letting me know right away, so I don't do business with you. Okay, that's it. You don't want to do business and find out later that they don't like you. So just, you know what? Own it. Own who you are. Show up for who you are, because the relationships you build by being you, and then with the people that like you for who you are, they're so much better. I'll tell you, they are so much better. You will feel so much better in your daily work, in the things that you do, the friends you have. You will feel so much better than having these fake relationships that nobody really likes. Okay, all right, number 8, upgrade upgrade your self-image. If you want to get somewhere, you need to become that person, and you need to become that person in your mind first. Now, what do I mean by that? I want to be a motivational speaker, right? I want to be somebody that gets onto big stages. I want to be the one who talks to a full stadium, like a Tony Robbins. I want to be somebody who talks to a full stadium and have everyone in the full stadium walk away with nuggets that they can actually use in their lives. And I want them to build their legacies in their families, and I want to help all the kids, and the kids have healed parents, and feeling better and breaking generational curses, and having everybody having money, enough money, because you do need to have money. So I'm also passionate about online businesses, because an online business, especially for a mom that has these ambitions, is vital. Okay, you are in an online business to have extra money, to have extra income that makes your life a little bit easier. And if I can help you do that, that's amazing to me, right? And if I can be then on a stage to talk to so many people, that is what I would love to do. Now, think about it. You are the mom that just gave birth. You have a toddler. In my case, I had 2 toddlers. I had a baby, new baby, and I was just like, yeah, I barely survive throughout the day. I barely sleep at night. Like, how can I imagine to be the person that is in high heels on the stage talking to thousands and thousands of people? Right? I couldn't imagine that for myself. I couldn't do it. I couldn't imagine myself. So I put a pin into it. In my brain, I was like, that's what I want to do eventually. But you have to upgrade your self-image. I was then thinking, who could I be? Who could I be? Who could I possibly be with this crazy life that I have and that I'm living right now? I mean, I'm still a sports mom, right? I mean, between soccer practices, I'm recording video content, I'm running all over the place. I'm having 3 kids that I raised by myself pretty much. I end up having travels and all these things that I've got going on, right? A full-time job. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening also in my life that you may not be aware of, but that you may also be dealing with. So I upgraded who I think I could be. So in the meantime, while I'm in this season of life, I can be a motivational speaker and speak to a camera. I can speak to you here right now. I can coach, okay? I can coach people from a computer in a Zoom call. Can I be a motivational speaker on a stage right now? Yes, because my kids are starting to get older and it'll be a little bit easier, and I can start seeing that because I have done workshops in person and so on and so forth. But when you're in this situation that you haven't done something, you can't see yourself there. So you can't have this upgraded image of yourself. So you need to, again, bring it a little bit closer into where can you see yourself? What can you do? What can you stretch a little bit, but what can you see yourself doing? And that is what you need to imagine. Okay, don't imagine the big, hairy, last minute goal. Imagine the next step a little bit past your comfort zone. So, talking to a camera was outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So, once I got used to the camera, once I loved talking to the camera, now I was starting to do live workshops. Now, live workshops became into having small audiences, public speaking. And then from there, eventually I'm going to get into larger audiences and so on and so forth. And eventually I inch my way up to that big stadium with the thousands and thousands of people, and I will be able to see myself do that, right? It's coming already closer in my brain right now. So I hope this helped you. You need to up your self-image of what can you see yourself do that is aligned with what your vision and mission and values are. Where do you want to go? Okay, that needs to be aligned. That self-image needs to be aligned. All right. Number 9 would be environment is everything. And I've heard that so many times until I actually fixed it. And it's true. Environment is energy of your space. For example, what does it feel like where you are working? Does it feel clustered? Does it feel lack of organization? Does it feel stressed? What does it feel like? You've got to feel it. People are not necessarily aware, unless you're an empath like me, people are not necessarily aware what the spaces feel like. But it's important that you understand, like right now, I'm recording this in a room that has no windows. This room here has no windows. And no one can come in here, and it feels calm to me. It feels calm, it feels great, it feels like I can focus. And that is what you need. You need to figure out what do you need to do with your work, and how can you accomplish this? What is your surroundings feel like that you can show up as your best self, okay, at that moment? Environment is everything. Energy matters. Your energy in your space matters for the task that you want to do, okay? People around you matter. Are they supportive? Are they not supportive? I deal with non-supportive people all the time. I have them in my house, if you know what I mean. And that's challenging for sure. I get it. I understand. But you can level up in your brain. You can. You can figure out how to engage in certain paths. You can start forgiving. You can start having understandings. You can understand that people are not on the same path as you are. And maybe you have a growth journey that you're doing, but they are not. That's okay. Meet them where they are. Okay, you can stand guard of your own thoughts and your own brain. Allow whatever you want to come in there, and it's practice. I get it. I know that's why I have a mentorship program that renews every month, right? Because it takes time to evaluate these things. So think about it. People are toxic. Your environment matters. Conversations matter. Everything that you engage with matters. It either takes away to your quality of life, or it adds to the quality of your life. Okay, the media that you're consuming matters. Either takes away or comes up to it. All right, so make sure you protect your environment. I promise you, this is the best and most important thing that you're going to do. You need to protect your environment. Number 10, you have to raise your standards. You have to raise your standards. What are you standing for? Have you ever heard about, if you don't have something you stand for nothing? That's exactly it. You don't stand for anything. You're just floating around like a leaf in the wind. Okay? You are not anchored. You are not grounded. You have to have standards. What are your core values? How do you want to live your life? What is your morals? What is going on that you can use as a pivot and anchor point to measure everything else going on? How do you even know you succeed? You have to know what your standards are. See, people are disappointed all the time, but they don't really know what they're disappointed in. They're frustrated, but they don't really know what they're frustrated about. They don't know why they're frustrated. They know they're feeling frustrated. They know they feel anxious. They know they feel overwhelmed, but why? You don't know why, and that is why you are having problems. You don't know why because you're not clear about what standards you have in the first place. See, we have subconscious standards that are instilled in us by our upbringing from our parents. They are stored in our subconscious paradigm, but we don't know for sure what our standards are until we do this personal development work, that you get it, that you know what your core values are, what do you stand for. So for example, if your core value is dependability and you are with people that are constantly running late, that are constantly saying they are doing one thing and they're doing another thing, guess what? You're going to feel very anxious and you're going to feel very stressed and you're going to feel really upset. And if you don't know that your core value is dependability, so you can set a boundary and say, hey, excuse me, this is not making me feel good. I need you to be on time because dependability is really important to me. If you don't know that standard, if you don't know that is happening, you can't set the right boundary. And you are going to just be stuck with feeling these things and you're not fixing them. Now, it's also unfair to the other person who's always late, because if you cannot communicate to them what you need because of your awareness about your standards, they can't fulfill them. So for them, if they don't have dependability as a core value, for them, being late doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter. This is why you all have problems in relationships, and we all have problems, not just you, me too. Why we all have problems in relationships. It's because we are not aware of what our standards are. They are not aware of where their standards are. So everybody just floats around like a leaf, and everyone somehow feels upset because we are having friction. We are like, no, you have to level up by understanding where's your standards. And then you need to be able to have communication and boundaries in place that enforce these standards with others. You need to stop settling. Okay? Get that straight. It will save your life. I promise you. When you get that safe, it will help you with your relationships, with your intimate relationships, with your friendships, with your children relationships, with your business partners, with your job, with your boss. It will help you with everything. You will understand why you're feeling the way you feel. You will need to do that work. I promise you. Okay? All right. 11, protect your energy. Now, if you are constantly upset because your dependability core value, for example, is being rubbed on, right, and ignored and all the things, what do you think happens to your energy? You're going to dip down. You're not going to have motivation. You're not going to do your job. You're not going to do the things. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to smile. You're not going to laugh. You're not going to have quality of life. Okay? Do you see how everything falls together? If you protect your energy, however, you are starting to get clues of where maybe your life and your business is not aligned. What drains you? Ask yourself, what is stealing your energy? What core values are not being helped here? Or what is happening for you? What fuels you? Okay, where that all of these things give you. So what drains you, what fuels you? You need to take ownership of these things. When you start becoming aware of it, you're going to have clues to see, are my core values possibly ignored? Are my core values maybe misaligned? Is the way how I do business misaligned? Is the company maybe wanting me to do things that are misaligned with my standards or my core values, right? If somebody is asking you to use manipulative scripts and you have a core value of honesty, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to do the work. You are not going to do the work because it's not aligned, and your body and your brain knows that. And every fiber in your body is going to say, nope, I'm not doing this. Okay, so protect your energy because it will give you clues as to where you're off course. Number 12, break through false limitations. I've talked a little bit about the paradigm in this video. So many of us have paradigm entries, so to speak. Like, people have put beliefs into our systems that we just took over as children, and then if you don't check those, they're stuck with you, and you are having your limitation. You are living up to that limitation, and that's it. Okay. Now, you need to check these limitations And you need to identify, are they true to you and your standards and your beliefs and your core beliefs? Are they actually limitations? Like right now, I cannot do what I want to do. I would love to have full-time seminars all over the place. Well, I don't have time for that yet. I still have little kids. And at this point, I'm training online. That's it. I cannot travel the country and have workshops everywhere in person. I need to do it online because I still have little kids. So, yeah, that is a limitation. That's a true limitation. At this point, I need to use social media to build a business. Okay. I can't do on foot so much because I don't have anybody watching my children. That is it at this time, at this moment, at this stage that I'm in. What is it for you? You know, do I maybe have a limitation that, oh, I will never be able to be a public speaker. I will never be able to do this. Nobody will ever like me. Why would they like me? I have an accent. I don't speak as nice. I could have all these thoughts in my brain, but are they true? I don't know yet. Okay. I don't know yet. I don't think they are. You know, as somebody who's going to like my accent, I hear a lot of people that say, oh, I like your accent. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. It's conversation starters. No, I'm not accepting this limitation at this time. Okay. So you have to do the same thing. You have to figure out what is a true limitation and what is a not true limitation that's just existing in your brain because somebody may have told you that you can or cannot do certain things. Okay. Those are prison. Those limitations that are left unchecked in your brain, this is your mental prison and you want to break free. Walk it free, right? You got to break free. You got to break free from that mental prison. That is what we do in this mentorship program of mine. We help figuring out, become aware, healing the parts, then reconnecting with what we want, right? How do we pull this all together? I mean, so many people get overwhelmed by wanting to get their mission, their movement together and getting into action of starting to build something for their life, but they're overwhelmed because it just takes so much. But it doesn't take so much. It just takes alignment. Okay. It takes alignment and it takes figuring out who you are at the core because all that you are is what's required for you to be successful. All right. 13 is align with your true purpose. Now, when you know who you are and you know who you want to become, now you can figure out what is your true purpose. So, to give you an example, I was always thinking, what do I want? What do I want? So I looked back into who I was as a child because that's who we are most of the time as our authentic self, right? So I was looking, I'm like, who was I when I was a kid? I always liked to perform in front of people. Strange. I always liked to talk to people, which is funny because I'm actually an introvert. I recharge my batteries in peace and alone in the nature. Okay. When nobody wants anything from me. That's what I find rechargeable, but I like people still. So I still love to talk to people. So that's the thing. I did like to perform short spurts, do things, those kind of stuff. And then I remember one core thing. I was always fighting for the underdog. I was fighting for the one that didn't have it all, right? I was fighting for the disabled people. I was fighting for people that were less fortunate than me. Like I was always very passionate about fighting for the underdog and taking my natural God-given abilities to elevate them and level them up. So when I built my business, when I started building the brand of Walk It Free, I thought, how can I take these things? How can I take these things and build something with it? See, when I did that, I wasn't really clear on what I wanted to do. When my mother had passed of cancer and I was there to take care of her, I started realizing, so much pain comes with regret. When you end up living a life and out of the sudden it's cut short, and you haven't done the things that you wanted to do, and you haven't built, you didn't have the relationships, you didn't have the money, you didn't do the trips, you didn't do whatever it is that fill in the blanks, right? You didn't do, but you're out of time. You're out of time. So what I did is I combined that pain And that purpose of helping people get to where they want to go with my natural abilities of fighting for the underdog, and I mashed it together, and that was my Walk It Free mission. That is the mission. That is me helping you to get everything you want out of life, whether or not it is building your business, and that is what gives you enough fuel and enough money to do the things you want to do. Or maybe you need to relationships, you need to level up your ability to stand in for yourself. You want to kick codependency in the rear. You want to get rid of your narcissist. Maybe you want to get rid of the empty nesting syndrome because you need to find yourself again, those kind of things. Maybe you want to just get enough confidence to live a life that you want. That is it. That's my passion. That is your purpose. So what is it for you? Look back. Where is your starting point? What is your natural God-given gifts that you then can put together into a business, right? Into a business that helps you serve, gives away, lets other people thrive, because that is where it's at. And you know what? It doesn't matter how much money people are paying me, because that is for me pleasure enough, knowing that I helped somebody, knowing that honestly, for me, that's already fulfillment. Money is nice. Yes, of course, I want to get compensated for the time I spent when I coach people, but at the same time, like even producing content, free content like right now, it's already given back to me. I already feel great. I already feel amazing doing these things. So I have motivation. See, when you align with your purpose, you are not needing to be motivated all the time, because it's coming from inside. It's coming from inside by you acting the way you want to act. You being aligned with who you are, and that alone will motivate you and go do the things. All right, this is getting quite a long video. Create simple systems is number 14. How do you actually make all this stuff happen? You have the mindset now, you kind of know what you need to do. Now, to actually take the steps to the path, you need to create simple steps, okay? Simple systems. What is your morning routine like? That's a system. What's your evening routine like? That's a system. What's your lunch routine like? It's a system. What's your in between system like? It's a system. These are things that need to be set. If you need help, again, my mentorship program is what will help you set all these things in place so that you can just work the systems, do those consistently. You will win. There is no winning. There is no winning. You will level up in your life. That's it. Okay. And last but not least, number 15, you have to ask for help. You have to ask for help. Asking for help, hiring a coach is not weakness. Okay. In therapy, yes, often you end up, having you talking through things, but they are not necessarily putting systems in place. They're not necessarily helping you actually walk this walk, because that's the difference about my program. We set the system in place, then we talk about it, then we watch you do it, we track the things, we actually watch everything happening, and we can deal with the obstacles that are coming aligned. I hear often people say, oh, I don't have time for another coach. I don't have time for the things. I don't have time to learn another program, right? Well, this is different, because Walk It Free is different. It's where we actually do these things with you and then watch you do it. And then we can deal with whatever comes up in your life right at the spot. We can figure it out together, and we can maybe pivot and adjust a little bit so that you can build systems that will work for you on a daily basis. Okay. All right. So that was my last thing. You got to ask for help. Coaches have done this before. They have walked this walk before. They know what it is. Every single thing that I've talked to you here about in this video, I have done. Every single one of the things. And every level has a new devil. So wherever you are right now, that's the next step. We're working with that. You repeat the system over and over and over again. You repeat these 15 steps over and over and over again with every new session, with every new level, wherever you are in life, whatever stage in life you are. See, think about it. You first have a newborn, then you have a toddler. Those two stages are completely different and require different actions from you. Now then you have toddlers and you're in the preschool area, elementary school area. Now, you're going to level up into the middle school and high school area. And now you have teenagers, totally different beast. Okay. Once you have teenagers, eventually they're going to get married, then move out, you by yourself, totally new beast. But this system, the Walk It Free system, will help you through it all because it gives you tools to connect with who you are, with your authenticity, heals what's painful, connects with what it is, and then find the appropriate actions that get you safely to the next level. All right, if that was helpful to you, I would love to know in the comments. So drop me notes in the comments, please. And also, if you want to download my 5 steps to walking it free, they are down here below also. Would love to see you there.